A CPAE. Please welcome another one from Denver, Colorado, CSP CPAE now, John Sileo.
Oh God, the name of that song is Thunderstruck, which is how all of you look right now. Because so many of you have no idea of who I am or what I even speak on. Well, I speak on identity privacy, and from those baffled looks, I must be pretty good at it. I'll give you time, I'll give you time. So 10 years ago, I landed in Orlando for my first NSA convention, and unlike this convention, Orlando was about the heat and the humidity. And when Thank you, Ruby. Ruby always has the Kleenex. I am so touched by this. I am thunderstruck and deeply moved to even be considered among this crowd. 10 years ago, when I landed in Orlando, I met a pretty special person. This is really hard for me. This really means a lot. It had been a very rough time for us. I don't know if some of you understand, my close friends do. In 2006, when I landed, I had just gone through a rough time. We had I just barely survived a criminal trial that was for a bunch of felonies that were committed in my name, but by my best friend. We were basically going broke. I had lost my business, and my self-esteem was nowhere to be found. And I came here and I shared my story, and you were all ecstatic about my losses. Maybe even a little jealous that I'd found my keynote story. I was in the hallway and I heard this woman in blue say, "Well, he's no W. Mitchell, but the business wreckage is pretty impressive." At the airport that day, a future Hall of Famer offered to share a cab with me, and then share his wisdom with me, and then become a once-in-a-lifetime kind of friend. Brad Montgomery, I love you. And then Brad Montgomery introduced me to NSA Colorado to his friend, Steve Spangler, my brother from another mother, who quite literally blew smoke up my... Spangler introduced me then to Eric Chester, who watched my video and told me that, like everybody else, I was swimming in Lake DeRestovus. And then he helped pull me out. Of course, since it was Chester, then he did 20 push-ups and 50 lunges. I met Scott Halford. Scott Halford, who showed me how to take all of these professional shortcuts, what the rest of us call cheating. But he ingeniously refers to as using your brain. Mark Sanborn, I don't know where you are, Mark. Most of our conversations, of course, happened over beers, so it's all a little bit fuzzy now. Tell me, when I got started, did you tell me, there you are, did you tell me to create a body of work that I could sell, or to sell my body for work? Seriously, Mark, you taught me how to sell keynotes and buy property, and I will retire on that wisdom, as long as you don't sue me for the title of my latest identity theft book, The Fraud Factor. I met Scott Friedman in a Turkish bathhouse. And he introduced me to his foundation. Together we can date the world. He didn't deserve that. He did not deserve that. Scott is probably the kindest person I know and truly lives from a place of abundance. And then I met Larry Wingett, who taught me that abundance is a hell of a lot easier when you're stinking rich. And when you shout at people that both they and their children are stupid. Larry, after seeing me speak a couple of times, kind of tenderly suggested that I stop being so goddamn boring. Larry, it's honesty like that from people like you that have me up on this stage, and quite honestly, it also made me soil my pants at the time. I'm leaving out so many people. Ruby Newell-Legner, the blood, sweat, and oh my God, the tears of NSA. Dean Savoca, Carrie Lorenz, Ron Culberson, NSA Colorado, the NSA staff here. Just know all of you are up here with me receiving a piece of this award. Oh my God, my time is running down. I've got to speed up. At the risk of the walk-off music, please hold it just a minute. I got to thank the people that are responsible for my life. They're at table 27 here. Good God, Sue, my business manager. I know at some point you're going to retire. You tell me every year just before your performance review. You're so good at, God, at keeping me booked while keeping me human. I might just turn out the lights when you do decide to finally abandon me. My sister Andrea is here, my Zen spirit, who reminds me to pause and take a breath. And she's so much cheaper than Lou Heckler. My mom and dad are here. Mom, I'm not an expert in security because I speak on it. I'm an expert because that's what you've always given me. Total unconditional security. There, Ruby, that's karma coming back. My dad and I, we have coffee almost every morning. We talk about business or we talk about nothing at all, and that's where I absorb his wisdom. I just realized that makes it sound like my dad is wisest when he's talking about nothing at all. Sounds like a speaker. Pop, thanks for teaching me self-reliance. It's amazing how independent I am and yet how reliant I am on you. Sophie, my 17-year-old sparring partner. It's gonna get hard. When we lost the business, I was so angry. Through Taekwondo, you helped me earn back that identity, one belt, one board, one wax on at a time. You'll always be my Sabonim. Michaela, my 15-year-old artist of life, you have taught me so much to discover the quiet, content person underneath this speaker ego. Thank you. You girls are the only purpose I'll ever need. You paint this amazing world with your poetry, your bourbon-flavored cupcakes. And in the gentle way, you make me a better dad. And that brings me to my final, I promise, my final thank you, because it's all about the people for me. If you know me, you know that. And they'll probably set it to music here. I've only ever really loved one woman in my life. Mary. Love, since the day I met you, I have been thunderstruck by the beauty of your mind and the depth of your soul. You stood by me when you thought I was going to jail. You stood by me through cancer, mine and yours. You stood by me when things got the worst. You are my Hall of Fame, and I would stand by you even if you changed your name to Platform. NSA, I love you.
Sileo, get over here. Go that way. John, you have to go back there. Yeah. It's a DNA test. All right, so you're... God, what in the world is up here? Look at all the stuff. Oh my gosh. that's not from the heart, I don't know what would be.